Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm actually starting this video all over again. Learning and playing around with my new Samsung tablet that my son got me for my birthday. I love it. But I actually probably need to set this pen down somewhere, you guys. Till I get done, I was actually recording. I didn't realize that S pen, you hit it, it actually can, how you say, do some things with your video and your camera. So I actually gonna just set it on top of there till I actually get through my video. I'm actually just recording this all over again. This is Carla Thornton McLean. I wanted to jump on this evening and kind of piggyback off of what I actually was talking about earlier today when I gave everyone a shout out during lunch in regards to the new norm and what we're actually all dealing with right now in regards to the pandemic. I got 5 tips I wanted to go over with you all in regards to dealing with the new norm. Right now, because what actually we're all going through, just wanted to say that stress can play a big factor and can be a burden on the mind and body. And believe me, I know that all too well because, like I said, when it actually hit earlier this year, it did exactly that. The stress was definitely a big burden on me and my mind and actually body, and actually I was dealing with anxiety. So definitely staying in prayers if anyone's actually dealing with that right now. I'm staying in prayer for you and lifting you up right now. But we'll also say that I'm just giving my personal testimony that you definitely will actually get through it as well. Okay, that how you say, just stay in prayer, stay positive, and stay around, I say, positive people who actually lift you up, okay, during these times. But I wanted to talk about, before we go into the 5 tips for the new norm, in regards to our brain and how powerful it is, okay? It's quite successful at adapting to change. And once again, because we all know, even with a learned pattern or a learned behavior, whether it's good or bad, if you actually want to change it, we always discussed and talked about what, if you practice and do it repetitively day in, day out, anywhere from 30 days to 60 or 90 days, sometimes as early as 30 days for someone, your brain is actually going to it's going to adapt to that new norm for you, okay? So there is actually hope, okay? To the new norm, okay? And there is no need, I say, for one to be afraid of change, but see it as an opportunity for growth and something to embrace during these times that we're actually living in right now, okay? Change allows us to develop new strengths and review our priorities in life. And that is so true. I want to read that again. Change allows us to develop new strengths and review our priorities in life. A lot of us actually need to have some awareness and hope. Some awareness has actually been created in that area as far as being like a test of time when it comes to your priorities or your strengths. A lot of us needed to create some awareness, and I would want to believe that what we're dealing with right now, it has definitely has caused some awareness for a lot of us, okay, as far as priorities and building up our strength that maybe even some of us didn't realize that we even had, okay? So I wanted to go over the 5 tips in regards to the new norm, okay? First of all, first tip is be kind to yourself, okay? Accepting who you are during this time, okay? And knowing that's all you need to improve yourself, okay? Meaning where you're at right now and how you're feeling, okay? Individuals who are compassionate and kind to themselves are more successful in being happy and enjoying life, okay? I'll read that again. Individuals who are compassionate and kind to themselves are more successful in being happy and enjoying life, okay? Even though what we're going through, realize that you definitely need to be kind to yourself. That goes along with, if you follow me, what I always talk about, that self-care, okay? Very, very important during these days and times. Our mood and mind directly impacts our physical wealth and health, okay? Meaning that these people generally are in greater physical health. When I say these people, I'm talking about the people who are compassionate and kind to themselves, okay? So that affects our physical well-being and affects our mind and mood. So that means they're generally going to be in a greater physical health. And that's important as well, because you don't want the opposite. In other words, not being in, putting yourself in that mindset of a positive mood and always staying in a negative mood. In other words, that, believe me, I know from experience, like I said, will affect your health, and it will, in your mood, believe me. And then that will cause you to deteriorate and decline very quickly. So remember, be kind to yourself during these times. The second tip is embrace and respect your feelings and thoughts, okay? Remind yourself it's okay not to have a positive attitude or be happy every single moment, okay? That's just impossible. But when you're actually not in that, can't be, or not in a positive, having those positive feelings or a happy mood every day, that it's okay. Meaning when you're feeling sad, anxious, angry, scared, whatever that you're actually feeling, if it's actually not, like I said, always in a happy mood or how you say a positive mood, remind yourself that you have the right to experience every emotion. In other words, is realize that you have the right to feel every single emotion, whether it's positive or negative. You have to remember that, and embrace and respect your feelings and thoughts, okay? We have to remember that's very, very important. The third one is reflect on past difficulties. In other words, is what this one is saying, remember that moment, remember something right now if you can, you probably can, in your past, that's something you just like, you know what, Lord, how am I going to get through this? Or how am I going to get past the obstacle? Or how am I going to get through this problem? Or whether it was financial, or Lord, how am I going to get through this divorce? You know, just anything in your past that was difficult, that you thought you wasn't going to get through it, but then you looked up one day and it became insignificant to you, because over time you got through it, okay? And just remember, like we're going through right now, these difficult times shall pass as well, okay? So remember those past difficulties that you got through, that you're going to get through this as well. The next tip is stay in touch with loved ones. In other words, is it's already, and some of us, might have been hard to stay in contact with loved ones if you actually was already far away. So with what we're dealing with right now, it made it double, twice as bad. In other words, is because, you know, you couldn't fly, you know, or even right now you don't care to fly, what's going on. Or even some people are not even feeling comfortable with driving. Some people are. But in other words, is it might have put a complete halt, and I'm quite sure it did, until, you know, times are getting a little better in that sense. And some of us are still not feeling comfortable about seeing your loved one, but it's important to stay in contact, stay in touch with your loved ones. And that means even emotionally. Don't put that, virtually, don't put those emotional distance between you and your loved ones, okay? Because when you're doing that, that means you're going to cause more stress, and you're going to cause more loneliness, and you don't want to do that to yourself, or actually do that to your loved ones, okay? So virtually make sure you're staying in contact with your loved ones during these uncertain times, okay? And even the loved ones you feel comfortable with, talk to each other and about your feelings and your thoughts, to actually get through, to be there to support each other, okay? So that's very, very important, okay? Even if you're not comfortable with driving or even flying right now, okay? Just make sure if you're staying in contact with your loved one virtually, all right? And the last one is give yourself time, okay? It's impossible to adapt to change immediately. Some of us might be masters of that. I would say most majority of the world is not, okay? So adapting to change. I definitely have been one of those persons. I've gotten better since I got older, but when I was younger, definitely was adapting to change wasn't actually, one of my strong suits. It just wasn't. So also give yourself time in what we're dealing with right now, and said that to realize it's impossible to adapt to change immediately. Expecting to do this right away is unfair to yourself. In other words, you're going to be mistreating yourself and treating yourself unfairly. So don't do that to yourself, okay? Being hard on yourself will only make you feel more isolated and stressed. And believe me, once again, that would actually happen, and you don't want to actually do that to yourself. You don't want to do that to yourself, and then also you don't want to have loved ones and people close to you, I love you, concerned about you. So don't do that to yourself. So I'm going to do a real quick recap. In other words, is what we're actually dealing with in this uncertain times we're dealing with right now. The 5 tips to, to the new norm. The first one I said we want to do is be kind to yourself. Okay, remember that. Embrace and respect your feelings and thoughts. Okay, whether they're negative or positive. In other words, when you have even those negative emotions, realize, that's okay. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. Embrace and respect all of your feelings and thoughts. Okay, reflect on past difficulties and remember how you got through them, and realize that this too shall pass. Okay, stay in touch with loved ones. Okay, thank God we can do it virtually, whether it's on your cell phone, like what I'm sharing with you all right now, and it's on a tablet, laptops, PCs. There's so many different, devices that we can use. So make sure you're doing that virtually, staying in contact with loved ones. And last but definitely not least, give yourself time to adapt to this change, okay? In other words, and embrace, embrace the change and enjoy the change that you actually come up with. And I want everyone to remember is what makes you comfortable. You have to remember that, because everybody's different, so it's not about how someone else is actually dealing with it. You have to remember what's making you comfortable and being comfortable with your new norm. Okay, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thursday, and definitely having a wonderful, Tuesday. Jumping ahead and Tuesday evening. Okay, you all take care, and I will be speaking with you all real soon. Have a blessed night. Bye bye now.